I mean, aside from, causing injury or something being illegal, there's not much that you would consider to be too much to keep your business going if it depends on your family's stability. That's the way that you need to approach these questions. Hi, I'm Angela Murray, SHRM SCP, SPHR, and your favorite HR exam coach. Welcome back to HR Exam Prep with Angela, and tonight we're going to conquer the situational judgment questions. And yes, I did say conquer. One thing you made apparent to me last week is the situational judgment questions, they have you on the ropes. I mean, in the 12th round, down bad. But don't worry, I've got you tonight. And this is not going to be one of those generic, think like an HRBP or have the SHRM best practice mindset. I'm going to give you real, tangible tactics that you can use to answer the situational judgment questions. The situational judgment questions are actually my favorite questions because they don't require you to recall information. You could quite literally use the SJQ breakdown and arrive at the right answer without having any knowledge of the topic area itself. Now, unfortunately, this video is not going to be long enough for me to go through the entire SJQ breakdown, but I will include the link in the description box where you can gain access to that full course. I do that full course pretty regularly, but I am not going to be able to go through the full process tonight. But I am going to give you a comprehensive framework that you can use to conquer the SJQs. But right now, I'm just going to give you what you came here for, and that is the SJQ Masterclass. There are 3 things that are going to make the biggest impact to how you approach the situational judgment questions. And these are the 3 things that we're going to focus on tonight. The first of those 3 things is fact gathering. Number 2 is the demonstration of strategic competency. Number 3 is broad application. Let's dive in, and we're going to start with number 1, that is fact gathering. Human resource is a data-driven function. We use data as a part of our efforts to make evidence-based decisions. So taking action without having a whole picture is not characteristic of an HR professional. Therefore, when the situational judgment questions ask you for the first step in solving a problem, the answer must always align with fact gathering. There is no possible way to solve a problem without knowing the root of the problem or the cause of the problem, because you don't know what to apply to that problem. Think about that in your everyday life. If you walked outside right now and your car wouldn't start, would you immediately go run out to buy a motor or to buy a transmission? No, you would go through steps to gather more information. What you would do first is gather data. So you want to check your gas to see, maybe you forgot to put gas in your car. And then you'll check to see if you left it in park. I know that's happened to me, quite a few things. You'll check to see if you left anything on first. You're going to go through a series of things before you actually do anything, because without gathering more information, you don't know what to do. And the same thing applies to the situational judgment question. Now, here's the thing. When you're reading a question and it blatantly asks, what is the first thing that should be done in the situation? You easily know that it's some kind of fact gathering. The thing is, it won't always be blatant. It won't always ask you outright, what is the first thing? So in this case, you need to read the question to understand whether or not the HR professional has all the information. So you're looking for clues in the wording, such as the problem is introduced to the HR professional. An introduction means they didn't know it before. So that means that the HR professional doesn't have the information. Or maybe something like, what should the HRBP do in response to hearing this? What should happen in response to hearing something for the first time is to try to understand everything about what you heard. Or the question might just say the HR professional just joined. What does that mean? The HR professional is lacking information because they just joined something. Now stay with me because the opposite of that is also true. Some questions will give you clues that the HR professional has done the fact gathering. If you see wording such as the HRBP forecasts a steady decline in engagement maybe, how would the HRBP know that other than they have completed some research or gathered some facts? So in this case, you know that the action needs to be taken, and that action needs to demonstrate strategic competency. That's the second point we're going to talk about, and this one is loaded. So let's start with the basics. First of all, let's define a demonstration. The definition of demonstration is to show with action. So the HR professional must show with action strategic competency. Secondly, let's define strategic competency. The definition is the ability to use communication and strategy to solve problems and difficulties. So the HR professional must show with their actions the ability to use communication and strategy to solve problems and difficulties. That lays out exactly what you're looking for in your answer. The HR professional taking action to overcome the problem being presented in the situation that you're reading. All right, so let's take a look at this question. It says, employees at a large technology company are having a hard time understanding the new rotational shift structure recently rolled out. Many employees have missed multiple shifts. The HR manager is tasked with finding a solution to this issue. After meeting with several employees, the HR manager learns that the employees are confused about when they should be at work. What is the best way for the HR manager to address the issue? A says the HR manager should reiterate to the employees their responsibility to ensure they are at work for their assigned shift. B, the HR manager should hang the shift structure printout in every department. C, the HR manager should implement an employee alert system to remind employees of shift times. Or D, the HR manager should hand out pocket cards with the shift structure printout. Now remember, the HR professional needs to show with their action the ability to solve the problem. The problem here is that the employees are confused about when they need to come to work. They're missing shifts because of that. A says the HR manager should reiterate the employee's responsibility to ensure they're at work. First, this does not overcome the problem. Reiterating that the employee should be at work does not solve the problems of the employee's confusion. Secondly, it does not show action on the part of the HR professional. So this one doesn't fit. B says the manager should hang the shift structure printout in every department. While this does show action on the part of the HR professional, it does not overcome the problem. Simply hanging up the same shift structure that the employees don't understand, that's not going to solve the problem of the confusion, so they still won't be at work. C says the HR manager should implement an employee alert system to remind employees of shift times. This shows action on the part of the HR professional, and it will overcome the confusion, which solves the problem. The employees will no longer be confused about when they should be at work because the alert system will tell them. Problem solved. D says the HR manager should hand out pocket cards, which again will not overcome the problem because again, it is simply putting the same structure the employees don't understand in a different format. Now, not a lot of people would choose this answer, but because it really seems so far-fetched, right? When we put it in the context of our day-to-day operations, it seems far-fetched. But think about it this way. If you owned a business and that business's success was directly tied to your family, what would be too much to make it successful? Let's say you have a group of skilled, engaged employees, but for this one issue of them not understanding the shift structure, they are extremely productive. Would it be too much trouble for you to figure out how to alert them about the times that they need to be at work? I mean, this is your skilled workforce. So absolutely not. If this were your business, you would figure it out. If money is no object and time is no consideration and effort is of no regard, what would be too much to ask to ensure that your company keeps running? And the answer is not much. I mean, aside from, causing injury or something being illegal, there's not much that you would consider to be too much to keep your business going if it depends on your family's stability. That's the way that you need to approach these questions. Consider the answer that will bring the most strategic value to the organization. Our final point tonight is to consider broad application. And what that means is you want to apply your problem solving to as many parts of the organization as you possibly can. So you're looking for an answer choice that either withdraws threat from as many parts of the organization as possible or applies opportunity to as many parts of the organization as possible. Let's take a look at another question. This question says, which action should an HR manager take to identify opportunities for the HR department to expand its role in the company? Answer choice A says, submit a proposal to the executive leadership team to increase the total HR budget. Okay, increasing the budget is one way that HR can use to expand its role. So let's put that to the side. B says, invite senior managers to participate in a team building exercise with HR staff members. Team building exercise, that is another way HR can expand its role. Let's put that to the side. C says, meet with senior managers to discuss ways the HR department can improve its services. Now, meeting with the manager to discuss ways can include many different things. One of the ways might be team building. Another might be budget expansion. But discussing different ways is broad and it can include many things. So this is going to apply this problem solving to the most parts of the organization. It allows for the most parts of the organization to be impacted. Now, of course, D says hire an outside consultant to review and suggest improvements to the HR services. I've already given away the answer, but just for the full picture, D is not the correct answer because remember, the second thing we talked about was HR responsibility to show their actions and their ability to solve problems. So bringing in a consultant doesn't allow for the HR professional to demonstrate that strategic competency, right? So this is a basic framework that you can follow. Again, of course, time doesn't permit for the complete rundown of the SJQ strategy. I wish it did, but I am leaving the link in the description so you can access the full class. After taking my SJQ class, the SJI items, they really become the favorites of my students. They are not as intimidating as you think they are. You just need to understand the structure and you need to understand the way that you break down the situational judgment questions. Hopefully this helped you out a lot tonight. And if it did, let me know in the comments or give it a like so that I can continue to make this kind of content if this is the kind of content that you like. Or if there's something specific that you want to see on this channel, let me know what that is as well. I'm eager to make all kinds of topics, all kinds of videos about the topics that you want. That's what I'm here for. So let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe because we are going to be conquering the SHRM exam and our HRCI exams from now until forever. Bye.